so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Switch for Power Mop. Switch for Power Mop.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-617-0239. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-617-0239. That's 800-617-0239. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
When was the last time you did something fun with family, friends, coworkers, and clients? What if I told you about a place under one roof that offers affordable entertainment for all ages? That's what you'll find at Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers in Donaldson, Hermitage, Tusculum, Hendersonville, and Murfreesboro, with bowling, games, food, drink, and entertainment for all ages. Enjoy an enhanced experience in Hendersonville or Murfreesboro, where they feature additional fun with bumper cars, laser tag, roller skating, and more. All locations are open 7 days a week, including holidays. Visit online at strikeandspare.com. Strike and Spare, where fun is bowling.
It's JB and the General.
You know, I'll do my Stugatz weekend observations. Stugatz from the Dan Levitard show. Patton, beep. One thing is sure. Beep. Actually, beep. Two things are sure. Beep. Tennessee is going to the Final Four. Beep. And the Nashville Predators, beep, are winning the Stanley Cup. Oh. Beep. Those are my two observations. How about that?
Weekdays 9 to 11, live on WNSR.
Honest opinions, genuine conversations. The McFarland Show.
(615-844-5600) is how you get in touch with us. Got phone calls to get to. Let's start things off with Bob. Bob, what's up?
Good afternoon, guys. I have a question. I've been to Jodas Park one time. The games are a lot of fun.
Yep.
I don't know much about soccer. My question is this: how much interest in the city do you think there is in the city's soccer team? And if they won the MLS championship, how do you think the city would react, comparatively speaking to, like when the Predators were in the Cup final and when the Titans were in the Super Bowl, that kind of thing? I was just curious about your take on that.
Well, I will tell you, Bob, that I wanted to ask Ben because, again, he's there all the time. I wanted to know. I go to a couple games a year. I've just full disclosure, I go to a couple games a year. And so that's it. I don't sit in the press box. I just go and sit in the stands, usually with my wife and kid, and that's that. And we usually go a couple times a season. So I wanted to ask him, here we sit in year 4
yes.
of MLS?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Like, I want to know, where is it going? Is it continue to grow? Is it stagnant? I wanted to get into that with Ben, and we'll have to do it for the next visit because he'd have a better understanding of it. But we had him on to talk about Gary Smith, the first ever firing, and I kind of want to just stick with the big news, if that makes any sense.
Right.
But I do want to look, I'm curious too. And so the next time we have him on, I promise we'll get into that. Where is this fan base right now? Is it continued? Is it still a rocket ship? Is it plateaued? Is it going the wrong direction? I'm with you. I would like to really know for someone who's around it all the time. I would have no idea because I pop in and out for a couple times a season and call it a year.
What is their stadium's seating capacity?
30,000.
It's the largest soccer-only stadium in the country.
They average about 17,000
Now,
a
I
game.
went to Guns N' Roses there. I mean, I've even gone to other events. I went to Guns N' Roses in, last August? So a year ago. Went to Guns N' Roses at Geodis, but, again, I'm not there very much. And so I wouldn't have a clue where, the proper answer to where it sits today. Now, maybe it's been going the wrong direction. Maybe that factored in with Gary Smith, right? And maybe this will, whatever their full-time hire will insert some new, freshness and re-energize the fan base. And maybe it'll grow again. I don't know. It's a really good question. I didn't want to ask it today. We'll get Ben on again soon, and we'll ask that.
I think it would be massive because I think there would be a run. And just like the Predators run or the Titans run, every win creates new excitement. So I think this city is hungry for a champion. If it's MLS that gives it to them, I think it can become much bigger than we can possibly even know. But you got to bring the winner in first for us to fully understand how big it could be. But it would be much, much bigger than it is now. That is for sure. People would care.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
Tony, sorry we couldn't get to you. We need to talk to Chip Hoback to begin the second hour, and if you want to call back, we will get to you after Chip.
Love you, Tony.
Thank you for being patient. Sorry we couldn't get to everybody. But I think, if they won it all, it would be a big deal. To what level?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's
be
hard to
Titans
say.
level winning the Super Bowl.
No.
Wouldn't be level Predators winning Stanley Cup, but it'd be
No.
a big deal.
It would be.
Be a big deal. Hopefully, one day we'll get to experience all
Hopefully.
those. All those.
Get the parade and all that.
Yeah.
So-
All right. That's going to do it for hour number one. We'll come back. I said we'll check in with Chip Hoback. He was at Valhalla yesterday for round one. We'll set the scene to begin the second hour. That's next.
On air and online, Sports Radio WNSR, Brentwood, Nashville.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. At least 5 now confirmed dead following last night's storms in southeast Texas. Winds between 80 and 100 miles per hour tore through downtown Houston, blowing out windows and ripping sides off buildings. And a tornado also spotted in the Cypress area. ABC News meteorologist Melissa Griffin says those storms are still on the march.
Thankfully, Texas has expired all of their flood watches as these storms move east. But we still have that flooding threat from New Orleans and Baton Rouge, straight across the Gulf Coast, right into Pensacola and the panhandle of Florida, up into parts of southern Alabama. This is through tomorrow.
Israeli forces say troops have recovered the bodies of 3 hostages in Gaza taken by Hamas in the October 7th attacks. Number 1 golfer in the world, Scottie Scheffler, arrested this morning in Louisville after attempting to drive past an officer and roadblock for an unrelated fatal accident. He was later released and is participating in today's PGA Championship final. This is ABC News.
Memorial Day is nearly here. Time to fire up for grilling season. Head to omahasteaks.com for the Memorial Day sale with 50% off site-wide. That's 50% off grilling favorites like tender steaks, beefy burgers, and much more. Plus, use promo code QUALITY at checkout to save an extra $30. Their unconditional money-back guarantee backs every purchase. At omahasteaks.com, use code QUALITY at checkout for an extra $30 off. Minimum order may be required.
Omaha Steaks, America's original butcher.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit?
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Your brain is an amazing thing. But as you get older, it naturally begins to change, causing a lack of sharpness or even trouble with recall. Thankfully, the breakthrough in Prevagen helps your brain and actually improves memory. The secret is an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. Based on a clinical study of subgroups of individuals who are cognitively normal or mildly impaired, Prevagen has been shown to improve memory. A Pharmacy Times National Survey of Pharmacists rated Prevagen the #1 pharmacist-recommended memory support brand for the 5th year in a row. You can find it in the vitamin aisle in stores everywhere without a prescription. Help your memory. Try Prevagen today. Prevagen. Healthier brain, better life. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Listen, you can't handle the truth. It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare studios.
Just a bit outside.
Now back to the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call or text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number.
Alrighty then.
Now, the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Second hour of the McFarland Show, live in the Strikers Bear Family Fun Center studio on this Friday afternoon. Darren and Justin alongside. Final hour to go. Adam Johnson is along for the ride as well. We'll have a big announcement about what to expect moving forward starting on Monday at 4 o'clock. That's coming up at the bottom of the hour. Stay tuned for that. Right now, let's check in with Chip Hoback. He is the PA announcer at Nashville Cats games, and he was at Valhalla yesterday for round one. And Valhalla has been the sports story today, starting at about I think the first thing I saw was about 7 o'clock our time. Is when I felt like it was everywhere.
Yeah.
7 o'clock our time.
That's about right.
And Chip now joins us. Chip, how we doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
We're doing fantastic. You were there yesterday. Kind of set the scene because neither one of us have been to Valhalla, and we had Ben Wright on last hour, who's actually from Louisville, who covers Nashville SC, and he painted the picture to us. Is it fair to say, Justin, if you're familiar with the area, it's kind of a hard to navigate in and out.
That's what he
kind
said.
of messy in that area. I don't know. He was, this is somebody who is from Louisville. What was your experience like?
Well, I'm from Louisville as well, and I've been to, this is my fourth PGA, and I went to two previously at Valhalla, so this is the third time I've been there for the PGA tournament. And actually, the club that my dad was a member of is right across the street, and my brother belongs there now at Midland Trail Golf Club. So it's, if you're talking about the death this morning, hit by the bus, and all that happened with Scotty Scheffler, that's on Highway 60, which is called Shelbyville Road, and there's really one way in, one way out for Valhalla, and so it's kind of a logistical nightmare. All of the spectators are supposed to drive to the Kentucky Fair and Exposition Center and park there and then take buses from there, which is about a 25-30 minute ride. And it's about 25-30 minutes waiting in line for the bus.
Oh, wow. You mean the shuttle to the country club is a 25 to 30 minute ride?
That's right. That's
wow.
right. It's the only parking lot big enough to handle all of the spectators that are going to be there, because there's 20,000 spectators there at least. And weather was beautiful yesterday, so it was jam packed. And they do have a place for Uber and Lyft, but it's backed up for miles. It's crazy. But there's not supposed to be anybody walking in. There were some people selling $60 parking places in their yards and then offering you a ride up the hill, but you're really not supposed to do that. And there were some other lots where there were some people walking across, but they tell you on your ticket and everything else, there's no drop-offs, there's no walk-offs. So, I spent the night in Shelbyville the night before with some friends, and then we had to go from Shelbyville to the fairgrounds, which is out by the airport, and catch the bus and then go all the way back where we were to get into Valhalla. So it's not if you don't like waiting in lines, you don't want to go to the PGA. The same situation in St. Louis at Belle Reve, except they had 5 or 6 different locations, and you took a 10 or 15 minute shuttle ride on a bus to get to Belle Reve, because it was in the middle of a neighborhood. Valhalla is kind of out past the suburbs.
That's crazy. So you're fresh off your visit, and like you said, a very, very sad and tragic story of a worker being hit and unfortunately killed this morning that started the day spiraling down, and then the Scotty Scheffler incident. So what did you think when you got wind of all this after just having this, experience yesterday?
My phone kind of blew up early this morning. People were texting and wondering what I thought about it, because we followed Scheffler for 9 holes yesterday and saw him many times during the day because, he's the number 1 player in the world. So you kind of want to be around him. And the crowds were definitely following him yesterday. So, yeah, I got it was about 7 o'clock this morning. My phone started blowing up, and from people that were asking what I thought about it. But, I just saw the interview that Scheffler had when he came off. He posted a 66 today. Not too bad for being in jail in the morning.
Yeah.
No, not bad. Not bad at all.
So he was talking about how it was a misunderstanding with the police officer. One guy was telling him to drive around the traffic and be ushered in because the players have the special badge to get right through all the traffic, and the other officer tried to stop him. And so he didn't really say much about that specifically, but he did talk about his time in jail and how nice the other officers were for him, and they gave him sandwiches, and he really didn't know if he was going to be able to play today. So whether they tried to process him as fast as they could, but he had to complete the process. So he was able to get back out there in time. Luckily, there was a rain delay as well, and they did delay the tournament because of the investigation going on Shelbyville Road with the man that died.
How big of a deal is this? I know the Derby is the thing in Louisville. There's no question about it. It's the biggest sporting event that happens in the city of Louisville. But they've had this event there for several years. Do you know how big of a deal this is for the city and how they feel about it as far as having this event there?
Well, I love it, of course, and having it used to be in August where it was 100 degrees out there. That was tough. But this time the weather was perfect. Having Derby and the PGA Championship in the same month is quite an endeavor. Because the Derby, it's not one day; it's 3 weeks of activities going on. They got Thunder over Louisville. There's parties everywhere. There's Derby events all over town for 3 weeks. And so they just wrapped those off, and I guess they slept off Derby just in time to go to the PGA.
A good way of putting it.
Just long enough there. Obviously, if you're the PGA, if you're the city of Louisville, you've got to be thinking about the long-term repercussions of this. And as somebody, and the reason I asked the first question is as a native of this area, I'm sure you and your friends and family who are still there wouldn't want this situation to chase the PGA Championship away from Louisville. And and I wonder how moving forward, whatever may happen, there's got to be an element of politics and economic impact and other things that kind of that are beyond sports that kind of settle into this.
Well, the Valhalla used to be owned by the PGA, and it's not anymore. And so the next 10 PGAs have already been announced, and Valhalla's not on the list. So they also hosted a Ryder Cup there. So they're trying to get another Ryder Cup event there. But those are set way out as well. So this is going to be the last PGA for a while. Of course, it was 2014, the last one. There've been. That's
about right. Yeah.
I was there the year that Tiger beat Bob May in the playoff, and I was there that the year that Rory beat Mickelson in the dark when they were coming up 18 after the rain delay.
Oh wow!
So
I remember that, man. Yeah, that was a little while ago, but yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to have a suite that day on the 17th Skybox suite, and took some customers and some friends, and we were on the other side of the course. Valhalla is like 2 separate nines. I mean, the back 9 is very hilly and lots of trees, and the front 9 is flat with no trees out in the middle of a big field. So they're completely different. So we had walked to the other side of the course just to see some players and walk around, and this big storm came up and just drenched everybody. before we could get back to the skybox. But that delayed the tournament by an hour or so, and they were pushing to get done in time so they didn't have to come back for another day. And so Rory won on the last hole, and Mickelson lost by a stroke, and Mickelson was in the group in front of him, and 18T is way up on a hill. And so Mickelson had teed off, and Rory was waiting to tee off, and they let him go ahead and tee off and hit into him before Mickelson was able to get to his ball. He wasn't very happy about that. But
wow.
Anyway, but
yes, sir.
Rory went on to win the tournament in the dark.
Scotty Scheffler sits 2 strokes back. Wouldn't it be the ultimate storyline if he wins this thing on Sunday? Right. And I wouldn't put it past him at all to go on and win.
Easily done.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the one thing to think about, too, is that the afternoon session just teed off. So,
yeah.
Shopley is just starting. He's 10 under now. Morikawa's hot. He's 11 under now. He had like 8 birdies today. Unbelievable day. And that's a long, long golf course, and they've even made a lot of the holes longer than they were the last time they were there. They moved several of the tee boxes, I noticed. They built new tee boxes way behind the old tee boxes. It's just number 14 is a par 3 playing 256 yards. And they were hitting irons off of it. It's just incredible.
Jeez. Chip, really appreciate you lending the insights to the area and the course, because we were very curious, and you were just there yesterday. Thanks so much for doing this. Keep up the good work at Cats games, and we'll talk to you down the road.
I appreciate you having me on, and don't forget, Cats playing in Clarksville Saturday afternoon at 3:30.
Big deal.
So,
yeah, that's right.
The new F&M Bank Arena. It ought to be quite an experience. I'm curious to see what the field looks like in there, and if the kickers hit the jumbotron.
Yeah, I'm about to say lower ceiling perhaps, but yeah,
very nice arena. It's going to be a great atmosphere.
Thanks, man.
Right.
Thank you, Chip.
You're welcome. Thank you,
Chip Hoback. Good stuff from him. We need to take another quick break. By the way, we've got a wide open segment at 615-844-5600 if you want to get involved. That's our phone line and our text line. If we were unable to get to you at the end of the first hour. And don't forget, at the bottom of the hour, big announcement of what you can start expecting after our show starting on Mondays. You're listening to The McFarland Show here on WNSR.
Hey, Tennessee, Jeff Fisher here. Ready for edge-of-your-seat football action? The Nashville Cats are bringing it to you live.
I'm Eli Gold, and we promise you an electrifying experience with every play. Arena football is back. It's furious and full of fun. Join us for the greatest show on turf. Secure your tickets today at thenashvillecats.com and get ready to cheer for your Nashville Cats.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel downtown is at the heart of Music City. Located within walking distance of the Country Music Hall of Fame, Bar Lines at the Omni is your downtown honky-tonk destination. Watch your team from any seat on their plentiful HD TVs and catch a live show on the Bar Lines stage featuring live music 7 days a week. Bar Lines has the ultimate Southern comfort food. Get started with classic fried green tomatoes or bourbon barbecue wings. Then it's on to the massive Smashville double stack, or the world-famous Bar Lines grinder. Oh, you've never heard of the Bar Lines grinder? 2 kinds of cheese, lettuce, Dijon, smoked turkey, smoked bacon, smoked ham. Now that's some smoke you want. Local brews and local spirits are on tap at Bar Lines. Take a seat on the patio outside and soak up the rhythm of Music City. Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
Precision Pipe Coating is on the air, reminding all motorists to slow down in residential areas and in school zones. Never text and drive, and always designate a driver when celebrating. This message is courtesy of Precision Pipe Coating, serving Greater Lebanon and Middle Tennessee with quality and pride. For residential and commercial pipe repair experts with over a decade of experience, call Precision Pipe Coating today at 615-582-7962. 615-582-7962. That's Precision Pipe Coating, the professionals who care.
The 2024 Atlanta Braves are on a mission to bring home a 7th straight NL East title and head back to the Fall Classic.
Harris will leap, and he got it! He caught the ball!
Tonight, Brian Snitker leads the Braves into action against the San Diego Padres at Truist Park.
Pre-game coverage begins at 6:05 p.m. live on WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Text the Strike and Spare studio now at 615-844-5600. You're listening to The McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Rolling along on this Friday afternoon, kind of raining off and on. I think we're supposed to get more.
Yes.
Later today.
Really more tonight, and then into tomorrow. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of rain. They're expecting 1 to 2 inches total by Sunday. But when that's the key. That's the hard part. When is it gonna fall exactly? But they've told us if you plan on cutting your grass, now is not the time. Saturday is probably not gonna be the time. Maybe late Sunday you get a shot if you want to do yard work.
Yeah. That's not why I was asking.
Which no one wants to do yard work. I mean, just use it as a barometer, just putting it out there.
In a baseball tournament.
Yeah. But well, that takes yard work of a different kind.
By the way, I saw on our text line earlier today, Mike put on there that, and I didn't know this. I guess John and Patton were getting into a discussion that we've had, I guess, about the home run leaders. By the way, Vanderbilt fell last night to Kentucky. Tennessee beat South Carolina.
There you go.
Well, I heard our boy Vince calling the game.
They did.
A lot with John Wilkerson. That I didn't know this, but Mike said on our text line that Bryce Brentz led the country in home runs in 2009 at MTSU. I did not know that.
I did not know that either.
The only reason I said it, that's my son's hitting coach.
Very cool.
Yeah, we go to Bryce every week.
Well, maybe you should ask him about that.
He led the nation in home runs and RBIs in 2009.
Hey, Bryce, listen, what were you doing in 2009? Just curious.
Well, I mean, I know he played at MTSU. I mean, I know got a cup, he had a cup of coffee in the Bigs.
How'd that season go for you? Was that a good season, especially a good season for you in 2009, Bryce?
I didn't know he led the country.
I'm just saying, you could find out here, by just ask. Well, you can look it up, or you can just ask him. That could be kind of cool.
I need to start teaching my son how to hit home runs.
Well, again, this is another club in his bag that you need to ask him about. It's like, you know how to hit home runs at this historic clip, and you haven't been saying anything. You've been telling him just to make contact or whatever.
No, he's not doing that. But my son just doesn't hit any.
Well,
we got plenty of other kids that are.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe
we're not relying on him for his home runs.
It's a different conversation then. Okay, so he's got other tools, right?
I knew. Look, he's a big guy. I knew that he's a home run hitter. I know he's a power hitter. I just didn't know. I just thought that was really cool. That Bryce led the country at MTSU in home runs and RBIs.
That's really cool.
In 2009.
It's nice.
It's a really cool story. Jordan Schauffele is 10 under.
Yeah.
Morikawa is 11 under, currently atop the leaderboard. Scotty Scheffler's done at 9 under. Dietrich and Hubbard also 9 under. So that's where we stand. Look, there's still a lot of
golf.
Still a lot of golf to go today. And I haven't even seen the projected cut line yet. Of course, I haven't looked.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Because I know this is about the time when they start putting that stuff out there.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see exactly where they decide to do that. I was looking up the locations of the next PGA Tour where you were looking up the cup line there.
-1.
-1 is where we're at
right now. -1.
They're going to spread themselves out over the next 10 years, near and far, for this event, for the PGA Championship here. Next year is going to Quail Hollow Club out there in
Quail Hollow.
Quail Hollow.
Yeah.
Out there in Charlotte, North Carolina. Then after that, it's going to Newton Square, Pennsylvania. So they're going to spread themselves out over the next 10 years.
Have no idea where that is.
I don't either.
Is that near Hershey?
Listen, Pennsylvania is a big place. It
is. My guess is it's probably Philadelphia or Pittsburgh. But I'm familiar with the Pittsburgh area, and I'm not sure about Newton Square. Let's go to the phone. 615-844-5600 is the phone line and the text line. Let's go to Magic Dave. Dave, what's up?
Hey, it's Magic Dave.
Excuse me. I did say Magic Dave first. So, Magic Dave, thanks for calling in.
So, I'm a big PGA fan. I think Scotty Scheffler is probably the most boring personality on the tour. So I think his publicist arranges arrest just to give him some street cred.
Okay. So you think this is going to give him some street cred?
A little bit.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
All right.
That's my comment.
All right. Well, great stuff. Thanks for the call.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what he needs is street cred.
A boring guy was set up by his publicist for street cred.
Mm-hmm. Because that's what he needs, street cred.
To get arrested before round 2.
Yeah, because that's what they're looking for out there on the street.
That's good stuff.
To increase the popularity of golf, street cred.
Well, I would say that it has been the story today.
It has.
Valhalla and the PGA Championship.
People are curious
has been
now.
The story, unfortunately, for all the wrong reasons.
I don't know if if the streets are listening like that though. I don't know if we go get to the same level if Kendrick and Drake, on the having a diss battle. It's going to be the same thing as Scotty Scheffler being arrested on the streets. That is. So
I think he's going to win it.
Cred.
I really do. I don't know. I feel like he's going to win it now.
It would be a magical story if that happened. It's a tragic story because you can't remember. It's hard to forget in the back of all this. There's a person who lost her life, which is why we even know all this happened. If a man wasn't hit by a shuttle bus earlier in the morning, the street would have been open. Scheffler would have gone to the course. None of this would have ever happened. So what's in the background of all of this, unfortunately, is a man who lost her life. But it would be quite the story if he's able to overcome all of this and win it anyway. It's an enormous mark of concentration to overcome all of that. And I guess goes to his training, goes to his focus and everything else, that you're still able to spend the morning in a jail cell in what is a huge distraction, I would guess, and still go out there and dominate on the course. That's very impressive.
Yeah, but he said they fed him with sandwiches and stuff. So
he also mentioned he did a good job stretching in the cell.
Yeah, there you go.
He said.
So he was still preparing.
Yes.
By the way, how crazy, Chip said, the shuttle bus ride is 25 to 30. You park 30 minutes away from Valhalla?
Wow.
And then your shuttle ride is a 30-minute ride in?
That's pretty crazy. It's normal.
That's normal?
We're getting words from the people. That's normal.
I'm at a point in my life and age, I'm out.
I'm at a point in my life.
I'm out.
Where I'm not doing that.
No, I'm not doing that.
In 2011, I went to Atlanta for the PGA Championship, and we used a shuttle, and it's the same thing. It was about a 30-minute shuttle ride.
That's basically like where we are right now. That's like
we're to Smyrna.
That's Murfreesboro.
Murfreesboro.
Well, it depends on the
depends on traffic. Yeah.
I'm saying, Rutherford County. We're parking in Rutherford County to go to a golf event not far from the radio station.
It's just not for you right now. You're just not doing that.
No, that day's come and gone.
Okay. I'm not sure about, if we're here for the adventure, I'll do it. I'll get on the bus.
You would do that?
Yeah, if we're here to do this, then yeah, that's what we're doing, and this is part of the experience. I wouldn't mind it. It's just part of what you do.
It was better than parking on your own. 100%.
That's true. Yeah,
Well, I did it both.
Sit in traffic.
Because one day we parked in a field and had to walk through mud and stuff, and it was terrible. And then the other day we're like, all right, we're going to go do the shuttle. And we parked at a parking lot. It was just more convenient. It worked better.
Interesting. But you were young and spry then, Would you do it today? But you're still young.
Yeah, I would definitely take the shuttle today. I'm more lazy today than I was back then.
All right, we're going to tell you about what is going to start happening following us on Monday. You're going to want to hear this as you listen to the McFarland Show on WNSR.
Celebrate Memorial Day weekend at Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Don't miss incredible deals like 50% bonus trade-in on all new clubs. Buy any 2 apparel items and receive a 3rd free. And save big on shoes, bags, carts, and travel covers. The more you buy, the more you save. Shop with us this Memorial Day weekend, in-store or online. Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Get there.
Attention business owners. WNSR has some exciting opportunities for your business to thrive in the dynamic world of sports radio advertising. As the proud home of some of your favorite sports teams like the Atlanta Braves, Memphis Grizzlies, and more, we understand the power of sports in bringing people together and creating a passionate community. We believe that your business can become an integral part of this experience, reaching a diverse and engaged audience. Contact the WNSR sales team for an opportunity to discuss how Nashville's sports radio can elevate your brand to new heights. Whether you're interested in a specific sponsorship package or would like a customized solution, we are here to meet your advertising needs. Call 615-844-1039, 615-844-1039, or email saleswnsr@gmail.com. That's saleswnsr@gmail.com.
Gas, groceries, utilities, you name it, the price of everything is going up. And if you're stuck in a bad timeshare with rising maintenance fees, the financial burden can be crushing. It is time to get your finances in order and get the real facts about that timeshare that you are stuck in and your options to get rid of it. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has been helping families out of horrible timeshares for over 10 years and has put together a complete timeshare exit information kit that he will send you absolutely free. To date, over 30,000 families have trusted Wesley Financial Group to help them out of financial hardship by getting them out of bad timeshares. Get the facts about how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation. Simply call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit and see how you can become timeshare free. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. Once again, 800-462-3333.
Family Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. It's time to get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data, and you get to choose who joins your family plan starting as low as $25 a line. Does it have to be family? It can be family or people you like.
Get more lines and more savings. Switch to Straight Talk for family plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com. Family plan discount with 4 lines, all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
Dame Dalla. Nobody was betting on this guy going into the postseason. He just reminded everybody why he needed to bust out of Portland. What he's really in Milwaukee for. Dame's like, Giannis? No Giannis? Psst, please, have some. You know it's a great half when you don't score at all in the second half and you still lead them to an absolute beatdown. Great to see Dame looking like Dame, and I know the Bucks definitely agree because they need him now more than ever.
Jim Rome is here weekdays 11 to 2 on Nashville Sports Radio, WNSR.
Welcome back to the Strike and Spare Studios. You're listening to The McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Braves baseball tonight. First pitch at 6:20 at Truist Park. Braves hosting the Padres. Max Fried on the bump for Atlanta. Waldron on the hill for the Padres. 6:05 is when the coverage will begin right here on WNSR. Darren and Justin here with you. We're live in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Adam Johnson is alongside for the ride. We're going to bring in a very special guest here shortly and tell you what you can start expecting after our show come Monday.
Yeah, looking forward to that. It's been something we've promised here for a little while. So we're just now getting around to actually opening up the present here for everybody. And we hope this will be something that everybody's going to be proud of for a long time to come.
Okay, we're in just a quick stall.
Sure.
We talked yesterday about the NFL schedule release.
We did.
That happened Wednesday night. Now that you've had a little, the dust has settled.
Yeah.
And you've had time to think about it, what is the one game that excites you the most on the Titans schedule? Or has you intrigued the most? However you want to frame it, the game that sticks out to you the most, if you had to pick one.
Any game against the Texans, whether it's the home
Really?
game or the road game, yeah. Because that's the standard in the division right now. And what you want to do is
that's the game that excites you?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, what happens? I mean, what
Okay.
happens? I mean, listen, the rest of this stuff is just, I'm fixated on trying to get this, for me, watching the Titans, I want them to go to the playoffs. I want them to ultimately, do well. And so I'm fixated on trying to focus in on games that's going to get them there. The rest of this is just, the Aaron Rodgers game is kind of cool, I guess. Nothing wrong with that game. It's a good game. But, as far as buzzing, like
It's
buzz
first home game, sure.
Buzz and excitement, yeah.
Or intrigue, whatever.
I'm intrigued to see how they match up against the Houston Texans. I'm intrigued about that. They are supposed to be loaded. The Titans are supposed to be loaded. They've built a secondary that's supposed to be able to deal with their high-powered offense. That's the Texans are who I want to see.
I think personally, they're intriguing matchups. The best ones, in my opinion, are road games, unfortunately. At Miami, at Buffalo, at Detroit against the Motor City Kitties, at the Chargers. Those are games that really intrigue me. Unfortunately, they're all on the road.
They're all on the road, yeah.
I'm going to pick a home game.
Okay.
And I'm going to say the Bengals for the obvious storylines. There'll be a ton of storylines with that game against the Bengals here.
Yeah, for Brian Callahan,
and
obviously.
who knows by December 15th.
Yeah, what in the world it is.
What that game.
Yeah, what the scenario is.
The significance that game has.
Yeah, what the scenario is by then.
It could be vitally important for both teams. It may mean nothing to both teams, or it may mean something to one of them.
Yeah.
Don't know.
No, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. But, yet and still. And that's a conference game, so it's a late season conference game, so that's important. But I'm looking forward to the division games. So Jacksonville, Houston, Indianapolis. That's what I'm looking forward to. Those are my games.
All right. Looks like the screen is down, so I can't tell who's on line one. So line one, could you identify yourself, please?
Yes, this is Hank Aaron.
Oh, Hank Aaron. Well,
from the great beyond.
This is what a treat, and right to be able to land Hank Aaron.
It's a long distance call.
This is right. This is going to be an expensive call, by the way.
It is going to be an expensive call.
That would be cool. By the way, I know you had an encounter with him that you'll always remember.
Yeah, he actually spoke at Fisk University years ago, and I guess I emceed it, and it was an interesting evening. Hank's daughter, I think, went to Fisk, and so that was the connection.
Oh, wow. Very cool. Well, let's we can get into some things, but let's go on because we'll hit it several times before we get off this particular segment. We're very excited because starting on Monday, following our show, which ends at 4:00, the live local coverage will continue from 4 until 6 p.m. on these airwaves, and it's going to be with your show, the George Plaster Show, which is the same marketing group and firm that we use to come up with the McFarland shows. So same group, they're sharp people. They came up with the show name McFarland Show, and I know they came up with your name, the George Plaster Show, But we're excited that you're going to be following us
And the
starting
slogans
Monday.
in the Big Ten, as we've discovered as well.
The slogans in the Big Ten. They did another fantastic job with that as well.
OHIO.
Yeah, the company seems to lack creativity.
Simplicity, George.
That's
It's simplicity.
what I'm noticing.
They prefer to call it simplicity.
Of simplicity, absolutely. Yeah, Darren, I'm excited about following you guys from 4 to 6 p.m. This is something, look, I've enjoyed the podcast thing. I'm not sure I totally buy that it's the wave of the future, but I've done that now for almost 2 years, and I've kind of missed not being able to talk to people, take phone calls, because that was always a staple, as you know, Darren, of what you and I did for years and years, and we had a blast doing it. Callers were really good to us. I thought we had a lot of great dialogue, and that's the reason I wanted to do this, was just the opportunity to talk to people again.
Well, I think you've come to the right place, because that's the one thing. I mean, gosh, we've been at this show here year and a half almost. I mean, October 1 will be 2 years, and
wow.
I didn't know what to expect, if I'm just being totally honest. And
neither did
the
I.
Listeners, both of us, we didn't. We're like, hey, we've never worked together. It's a new show, and didn't know what to expect. And the callers have been unbelievable. The input on this show has been fantastic, and I just think it's a nice 4-hour block in the afternoons that we should be able to get a lot of input from this market between 2 and 6 right here on WNSR. And I know that excites you, and it has certainly excited us over that time frame that we've been doing this show.
Yeah, I am pumped about it. At heart, I'm a radio lifer. It's what I am. It's what I'll always be. And again, I've enjoyed the podcast part. I don't know, what the advantage is to anybody seeing me, but I've missed not being able to talk to people, to be able to take an issue and say, okay, do you have an opinion? I want to hear yours. I've got mine, but that doesn't mean it's right. And a lot of times people have changed my opinions based on something they've thrown out there that I've had to say, I never even thought about that. And that's the beauty of sports talk radio, is the ability to engage with people. That's why they call it talk, as opposed to lecture. And, I'm excited about it. I really am.
Well, we know that element certainly excites you, but let's be honest. How exciting is it for you to know that you get to say Atlanta Braves baseball is coming up next?
You know what? I hadn't thought about that.
You get to go into Atlanta Braves baseball.
Yeah, and thanks to my friends at Comcast, it's the only place
I know
that can carry the Braves. And so, yeah, I am looking forward to it. Darren, truthfully, I know less about the Atlanta Braves today than any year I can think of. I mean, I haven't seen them. I've seen them one time on TV in the last 3 weeks. That there was a guy in their lineup a few nights ago. I was like, who is that? And I had to go look, and I realized that, we're being deprived of something. And I'm certainly not going to be bashful about my bashing of Comcast. What's going on is absurd.
Well, you're right. I mean, look, it is certainly, we've grown accustomed to, and look, it's good for WNSR, right? Because you're right. In this market, this is so I do find myself when we're out and about, whether it's a baseball practice or going to get something to eat, or we're out and about at night and we're listening to the game on the radio, but we've also, grew accustomed, because my wife is a huge Braves fan, my son, and we always have televisions on in the house on Braves games, and it's been weird, like you said, the last 3 weeks, not having that option. And who knows, if this is all going to get resolved. A lot of people I've seen out there, and Justin has put that out there on this show as well, that, there's a lot of rumors out there that it could be Amazon or Apple or something like that could possibly swoop in there and buy, what is it, Diamond Sports? Is that who owns Bally's?
Yeah.
Or that portion of it. I know it's
that portion of it,
Sinclair. I know it's under the same or the umbrella.
That is correct.
But different divisions. But
they went
maybe
for
one of
bankruptcy, and there's a whole lot of stuff going on.
Maybe one of the big boys could come in with the deep pockets and kind of save that channel where we can get it back, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, for instance, a couple of nights ago, the Braves did what's become a wildly popular deal where Jeff Francoeur leads three of his buddies. I think Brian McCann, Glavin, and I guess Chipper were a part of it this time. And, I don't even know how it played out. I mean, I got one chance to find out, and that's simply to call Jeff and say, how did it go? And the one a year ago that they did, where they had a game that got into extra innings, and at the very end of it, I think Ozzie Albies either hit a homer, had a hit that won him the game, and Jeff screams out, "Give Larry," and he meant Chipper, "give Larry a crown," and he was talking about, Crown Royal. And I told Jeff recently, I said, I know you'd like to be remembered for, astute color analysis. I said, but the truth of it is, you're going to be more known for that comment than anything else you've ever done on those telecasts.
Wow, that may be true then. Oh, now, George, I need to go back with you, sir. I need to go all the way back. I moved here as a child in August of 1991. And when I got here from Chicago, is where my family and I moved from, it was only a couple of games in town if you wanted to talk sports. It was basically you guys over on the FM side, and it was good old Bob Bell and Bill King over on the AM side, and that was it. And I wonder, do you ever reflect on your legacy in sports talk in this market and in this city, and how much of the market that you helped usher in? Because the stadium referendum in '96, that was you, sir. That was, where do we talk about that? With you on that show, building the arena with no team. That was you, sir. You talking to the commissioner, you talking to the mayor. That was you who helped usher all that into the public. Do you ever pause and think about it in those realms because there was not another vehicle?
No, I'm just trying to pay bills. But you know what's funny? Well, you brought up the NFL vote yes referendum.
Yes, sir.
And the guy that spearheaded it, the late great Rick Regent. Oh. And the problem was that Rick only lived 4 doors down from me. And so he didn't even have to put a phone call in. He'd just knock on my door and say, okay, I need this much airtime. And Darren, I don't know if you remember this, but there was a night, there was a professor, I don't remember what, it may have been Vandy, but I don't remember, who basically said that, all this is worthless, that really all it does is just redistribute what's already out there monetarily. And I got pissed off.
Yes, you did. I remember this. Yes, you did.
Yeah, and I told the guy, I said, you need to get out in the sun a little more often. I said, you need to go to a Braves game and see how many different license plates from different states go to those games. I said, you don't have a clue. And I said, I'm tired of hearing this kind of rhetoric, as though somehow I should be ashamed because I want to have sports in this city.
He said it was a ripoff, George. That's what he told you.
Oh, it was stupid. And, there was a lot of that back then that, bringing the Titans and the Preds won't do anything for our city. Well, what it did do, it elevated us to big league status. Now, that said, like a lot of people, I'm not thrilled about downtown these days. I hate the fact that so many of the people that live here try to avoid downtown like the plague. Mm-hmm. And I do think maybe we've gone too far with some of that stuff, but we certainly have been elevated to big league status. And sports played a huge piece of that.
Well, you were front and center for it all. You were the place where we talked about it. And I will never forget one of your callers calling in and saying, I don't want to become Atlanta. If I want to live in Atlanta, I would move to Atlanta. And by moving the stadium here in the NFL here, we're going to turn into Atlanta, and I don't want to live there. And, you know, recently while doing, you know, stuff around town, I remember that call, and I looked around and said, well, it's not quite Atlanta, but I understand what he meant when he said that, though, looking at how much things did change. But it's not all bad. You have to take the good with the bad with the growth. And that's been difficult for some of the longer-term Nashvillians to accept.
Yeah, it's a totally different city than the one I grew up in.
Yes, sir.
And I'll be honest, at times, you know, when I get on the road, I'm shocked. You know, I see things and I'm like, holy cow, this is so much different than 30 years ago. And some of it we've done really, really good, and some of it we haven't done great. And, you know, I hope that there are people, you know, in office kind of saying, okay, how can we fix some of the stuff that's not doing as well? Because we're all frustrated by traffic. You know, we're all frustrated by the fact that it's not the way it used to be. That, you know, it used to be that you could get anywhere in our listening area within 30 minutes.
Yes, sir.
And we now know that that's not really true, that a little bit like Atlanta, you got to think about when you go somewhere and, you know, are you going to hit rush hour? And Darren, I know when you drive home, you never know from one day to the next what you're going to face. It's different. I mean, it's way different.
Or drive in like last Friday.
Yeah.
When it took me an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And I don't live an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
Justin, did he give you a back pay for that day?
No, I got him covered, and he's got me covered several times. You know, I owed him quite a few, so no, we're fine.
So it's just starting to even it up a little bit.
Yes, at the very least.
Yeah,
I like it.
We're excited. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I think the listeners are in for a treat, getting 4 hours of a lot of history between the two shows. We're people that can actually talk about events that happened in this town because we lived it.
Mm-hmm.
We were there. We covered it. We lived it. We were, and there's a lot of people, and I'm not throwing shade at them. It's not their fault. They're younger or they weren't living here then, but there's just a lot of people on airwaves in Nashville that they have to Google things. They've heard it from us and they regurgitate it, but they didn't live it like us.
Not everybody can talk about the stadium referendum, George.
Yeah, like that example right there. I mean, that's a prime example. But
when you were going through all that, all I could think was, yeah, I was young and thin.
George, thanks for doing this. We look forward to it starting on Monday, and we'll talk soon.
Man, I'm looking forward to working with you guys, and thank you for the support on this.
Absolutely. Our pleasure for sure. So we'll do a lot of cross-promoting between the McFarland Show and the George Blaster Show.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll take our final break, and we'll come back and put a bow on this week. It's been an eventful week, believe it or not. Not bad for May, right? It's been a lot going on. And if you did, the news right there, if you didn't hear the George Blaster Show, by the way, Kelly Holcomb is a part of that show.
How about that?
Longtime NFL quarterback, former MTSU Blue Raider quarterback. Mm-hmm. They will follow our show Monday through Friday from 4 until 6 p.m. You're listening to The McFarland Show right here on WNSR.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them. With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise. No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures. It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Has someone in your family lost a job recently, and now you can't afford your mortgage payment? Or do you have a rental property and your tenants aren't paying you? We can come to the rescue and pay you cash for your home immediately. Yes, sell your home and get cash all over the phone without dealing with real estate agents or having to waste time showing your home to lukewarm buyers. You don't need to lose your house to foreclosure. If you have equity in your home, we'll buy your home and give you cash within days, all in a simple over-the-phone and virtual process. Call now before your situation gets worse. Sell a home you can't afford or just need anymore and get the cash you need today. Call this number now.
Call 800-527-4903. That's 800-527-4903. 800-527-4903. Again, 800-527-4903.
Paid for by Airtime Media.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Upside, the free app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back just for buying the gas I was going to buy anyway.
But is it a hassle to use?
No, it's super fast and easy, and I can cash out whenever I want.
That's a total no-brainer. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LIFT for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code LIFT. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LIFT for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LIFT.
Okay, picture this. It's Friday afternoon when a thought hits you. I can spend another weekend doing the same old whatever, or I can hop into my all-new Hyundai Santa Fe and hit the road. With available H-Track all-wheel drive and 3-row seating, my entire family can head deep into the wild. Conquer the weekend in the all-new Hyundai Santa Fe. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details. Hyundai, there's joy in every journey.
It's a Bill King Show.
If I ever told you my disdain for spring games, they are useless, they are irrelevant, they are not representative of a real college football game, nor does it tell you what you need to be looking out for once your team gets on the field for fall games that do count, that do go in the record books, and do mean something.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
Give us a call, 615-844-5600. The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
All right, let's check the sports schedule tonight. What's at stake? We know we have Braves baseball here on WNSR, but an opportunity for the Knicks to eliminate the Pacers, but they'll have to do it on the road.
Yeah.
We were talking about Jared Brunson is fun to watch.
He's
for the
fun.
Knicks.
A lot of fun.
There's another. I did not see him being that good.
Out of nowhere.
Just that good.
He wasn't supposed to be the guy for that team. But, look at what happened.
So we'll see if they can eliminate the Pacers tonight. But, again, they'll have to do it on the road. The Pacers are a 5-point favorite. We'll see if that gets pushed to a Game 7.
It's
so that's
cool to see the Knicks and Pacers mean something again.
Yeah.
That is cool.
We used to watch that all the time.
Oh, my goodness.
Some unbelievable battles.
Oh, great stuff.
Reggie Miller.
Oh.
And some guy there sitting front row.
Who's still
Madison
there?
Square Garden.
Still there.
I know.
Still talking trash.
Man, were those some cool memories. Those were fun series. So Pacers and Knicks, that's a lone NBA playoff game tonight. On the NHL side, the Boston Bruins trying to stave off elimination. They're at home. They're down 2-3 or 3-2 in the series. So the Panthers trying to get back where they were. Well, this will be into the Eastern Conference Final, but, they were in the Stanley Cup Final last year. It's hard to make that run again, but Florida Panthers are trying to eliminate Boston tonight.
Okay.
Which will be interesting. That series has been heated.
Yeah.
Been a lot of stuff going on in that series. So that's the game that starts at 6 o'clock on TNT. And then the nightcap game will be the Dallas Stars going into Colorado, into Denver, trying to eliminate the Avalanche, up 3-2 in that series.
Wow. Does that surprise you a little bit?
A little bit, yeah.
I would have thought the Avalanche would have been the clear-cut favorite in that series going in.
I mean, Dallas did.
Not to say Dallas is some slouch or something, but
they were the number 1 seed,
Yeah.
So, or Vancouver was, Dallas was.
Dallas
right?
was, yeah.
Vancouver was the 2 seed. By the way,
playing the Predators, yeah.
Did you see last night?
Yeah.
I was watching it.
Yeah.
Vancouver freaking won that game. They're up 3-2.
They are.
On Edmonton. Now Edmonton is about to lose their mind.
It doesn't,
because they're about to get eliminated again.
Yeah. Well, and again, they're about to get eliminated by a team without the goaltender. I mean, this is it's making me feel a little bit better, I guess, about what the Predators did, seeing that Edmonton is also having, problems, getting over on Vancouver. Not the same kind of problems. They're scoring more goals than the Predators did in the series, but still they can't get W's.
Yeah, but I don't view it the same way, Justin, because the Predators had an opportunity to pounce on a young, inexperienced guy and take his confidence away. But I think this is a guy that's just gotten confident.
Yeah, more and more confident.
More confident.
Yeah.
And more confident. Now, he's like, nothing's bothering him, right?
No.
He's been through the battle. He's been battle tested in a round 1 series against the Preds. And now he's being battle tested through 5 games against the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah. I mean, I understand what you're saying.
I'm just saying, the more he won and then they win a series, the more confident he got. They had an opportunity to, break his confidence or never let him get confident in that series.
They did.
I'm just saying.
They did. But,
So Vancouver wins 3-2 last night. The Rangers got 4 goals in the third period last night, eliminated the Carolina Hurricanes. So the Rangers move on to the Eastern Conference Final, which, by the way, you'll love this little fun fact on the way out. I meant to bring this up earlier.
Yeah.
The President's Trophy winners.
Yeah.
Justin.
Yeah.
Since 2015.
Yeah.
So the Rangers getting to the conference final. The Rangers in 2015, the only 2 teams to get to the conference final.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
From the President's Trophy winner. Have a great weekend. Be safe. We want you back with us starting at 2 o'clock. Don't forget George Plaster Show following us starting on Monday. We'll talk to you then.